Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode on FTB integrations by parts. How you guys doing? Now, over on today's video, I'm really hoping that we can go to space. But first, so what's different? Well, we can see that I'm starting to build up the factory over here, and that is very simple. Why? And that's because we have this. Well, you might be wondering, well, what is this? This is the liquid fuel generator. Now, initially, I wanted to go with the diesel fuel generator. That's a little bit further down the line because of the materials that it actually needs. And this guy was cheaper in a way, and we actually got it now. So I wanted to do this guy so we can have power. How do we have power? Well, we have this industrial fermenter filled with potatoes, and we have this industrial squeezer which has been squeezing in hemp seeds. Now, it probably needs a little bit more hemp seeds. I still need to try and figure that out a little bit more, and then both of those get combined in the refinery to make biodiesel. Biodiesel then gets put into here, as you guys can see, and then on the other side of the machine we actually need to put in water. Now, this guy works with, well, a fuel and a coolant side, but there's three types of coolants from what I was able to find out. The easiest one is water. You just make a sink pipe, that's it, done, you're good. And it gives you a decent amount of power with this, with biodiesel. I do believe that biodiesel is the best fuel for this machine as well. So we do have the best fuel, but we do not have the best coolant. Now, the best coolant, I think, it's cryothium, molten cryothium. This guy, this apparently is the best coolant. Now, to make this, of course, we need to have a lot of redstonium automation. Neither does Liz powder as well. We ain't got none of this. And one of the other coolers would also be liquid starlight. So whenever we have a better automation of this, I'll probably swap out the water for starlight, and this would give more power. Now, of course, some of these machines have a little bit of an issue, and that issue being that they need power to be extracted from them, and not all cables do that. So one of the cables that can do that is, for example, the mechanism cable right here. This guy can be set to extract, which means it will take power from the machine itself. Then if you already have a bunch of power cables like I do, these cables do not extract, so you need something like this. So if you put an energy cube here, the energy cube will store the energy from here, and then you just use the power cables to send power to your machines, and everything's fine. So this is literally how I've been powering this guy. I mean, it doesn't need power, but how I've been powering the machines here at the bottom. Now, I already made the holes for the elevators, and I did do a little bit outlining in the machines here, as you guys can see. But yeah, these guys are all working fine and dandy, and now we can actually have these guys running full power. The crusher, of course, if you guys haven't seen the last live stream, please go and check it out. The crusher here is pretty good. Just put the ores, and the ores get crushed, and then they get sent into the ore washer. The ore washer has some water on the side here, and then, of course, as you guys can see, it outputs a lot of shards. Now, we need some way of cooking things here. I was trying to look at furnaces. Maybe I'm gonna go with the arch furnace, but that's quite big, and I don't really have the space for it unless I put it like over here on the top level. I gotta find out. Yes, of course, before you say the mechanism furnace, we need to go to space. So if you go to space today, maybe we can get our hands on this. Well, of course, where do all those things come from? They come from here. We have the two farms up and running. Now, this farm over here is the one that is making potatoes and hemp. And we have here, as you guys can see, hemp seeds, and we also have potatoes. And I do need a void upgrade here ASAP. And we do have hemp fibers and, well, poisonous potatoes, because it's also a drop. This side, though, we do have the flax seeds, which are now void upgraded as well, and these guys actually will be helpful later down the line when we get a little bit more automation, so we can actually turn into the fuel oil Yeah, these ones, the empowered oils, you know, because we use seed oil to turn into crystallized oil and then into empowered oil, and we gotta have a bunch of those seeds with us. And this is actually just decoration here, and it's one of my oldest tricks in vanilla Minecraft, is whenever you need a little bit of color, put water. Just put water. And I needed something to fill in this gap, because the roof, what's over this this farm is going to be terra glass, so the crops grow even faster. The only problem is, well, I don't have terra glass. It's expensive. I thought it wouldn't be that expensive, but it is quite expensive because you use blocks of infused lapisium. And until we have this guy over here, this is a little bit further than what I wanted it to be. So we're gonna have to wait in order to do what we want to do with that. So yeah, this is pretty much all I've been doing at the moment, besides just trying to decorating a little bit, you know, every now and then. But of course, if we go back here, this is now where our Botania is set up here. We have it over here, so it's easier to go here and do things than just continuously fly to the starter area. I do have only 8 Andal Flames as my power or mana generation, which is not that great, but we're using the trees from this guy, which every now and then this guy just breaks itself. I don't really know what it or why it does that, but it just breaks itself. Like, as you can see, this tree is not in its astral form, which means it's not actually being farmed by the astral tree projector, so, or the tree beacon. So I really don't know why that happens. I found out when it does that, if you just break it, of course it got picked up by the chest. I just break it and I place it here, it will start doing its thing again, and then all you need to do, just pick up some more saplings and, well, just place down some more trees. Yeah, and it's perfectly fine. It works perfectly fine like this. Break it, place it again, put the trees back on, and yeah, it's gonna do its thing just fine. Now over here, this is where we need to go right now, because the only thing that's stopping us from progressing a little bit more is this thing, the oxygen loader. Now, it may look easy at the first glance, but when you click on the iron engine, you'll see empowered lead. Now, empowered lead takes infused emeraldium, and infused emeraldium takes elven quartz, and elven quartz takes the elven gateway, which we don't have, and that's very annoying. Now, we did manage to get some terra steel. I don't even know if I put it over here. No, I guess I put it back over the chest, or no, there it is. It's right here. We did manage to get some terra steel. We probably need more living wood, and we did the quest apparently on living wood. What quest? Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, of course. Yeah, as you guys can see, we need to make these. We got 8 living wood, we need 3 glimmering living wood, we need 2 natura pylons, we need the elven gateway cord, and we need 2 more mana pools. Well, I do believe that these guys require like huge amount of mana. But I'll try to power it on anyway. I do believe these guys should be getting power from here. Okay, well, it didn't quite work. So maybe it's too far away. I don't think it's too far away. No, is it too far away? Maybe. I got a quarter on each of them. Let's see if this is enough. It's taking a lot. And I believe we got it. Yep, seems like we got it. We don't need to send it anymore, so it can just stay there. And for the looks of it, it is now done. We do have the elven gateway. And also over on the stream, I did actually come up with a little bit of a way of actually having this sort of automated over here. For example, we are now gonna be doing this infusion right here, which needs the green corundum, elven quartz, slime crystals, uranium ingots, and nature agglomeratio. Yeah. So these are 5 items, and we have 5 item users. So all I gotta do is we go ahead and replace these on their respective place, like so. Now this is not 100% effective, and maybe I can show you why. For example, as you can see, I just have simple redstone here. It triggers this repeater, these repeaters trigger these item users, and I also have redstone dust back here to trigger this item user. So technically everything should be working perfectly fine, right? And as you can see, this guy did not put anything on this press. It's all right, it's not a big deal. This will be automated with a machine later down the line. I just made this so I could have an easier way automating when I need to make a bunch of these in the early stages. Sometimes it's, for example, that one that doesn't get put in, sometimes it's this one. Like, it's random because it's using the ticks of the game to try and place the items. For example, if I click now, yeah, I can see that one did, that one didn't. It's a little bit weird. I really don't know how to fix it, so I'm pretty much just gonna ignore it. So I should have every single thing in order to make the rocket now. Shouldn't really be that hard, just like this. Yes, there we go, and we got ourselves tier 1 rocket, which means we are now able to go to space. And I did also make the fuel loader as well, and that guy is here. There you go. Fuel refinery, the fuel loader, and the oxygen loader, which has my chest plate. So we do have the entire oxygen set. This guy has 9 buckets of fuel, and I'm actually at the moment gonna put the rocket here. So let's just, like, for example, put this here. It does need to have something to pull out something from. So there you go, just get a configurator and done. Yep, we now have a bunch of fuel here in fuel loader. So put the rocket here. Yep, there you go. You can see the fuel is going up. Now, I do want to take 3 buckets with me. Yeah, because I believe it's 3 buckets that fuel this rocket. Like the tier 1 rocket to the maximum. So I do want to bring 3 with me. I do also need another launch pad, and then we're good to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. We are going to space. Hey, look, the slimes want to come too. Look at that slime party over there. Holy jeez. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived. Well, we came here for a reason, and even though we now have access to these guys, which offer some interesting trades, you know, like, for example, these Enderium coins, they seem to be very, very interesting in what comes to these trades. For example, this guy buys sweet berry juices and gives me Enderium coins, which is interesting to say the least. This guy sells me stuff, this other guy sells me stuff. Like, there's a lot of different trades here, most of them involving Enderium coins, so we'll definitely take a look at that later. But right now we need dash, which means we're gonna be mining. Here it is, we finally have access to dash, and this is actually going to unlock a lot of new machinery. So I'm gonna try and get maybe like a stack or something. I don't know how common this is actually, so it may take a while to get a stack. There's also like a bunch of iron here, which I'm definitely taking, and some cheese, which you can use as food. So we're also taking this. So we're back down to Earth, and we got ourselves some dash ingots, and as a reward we also got this solar panel, but the solar panel can only be placed on the moon, which is kind of a little bit worrying. Like, how am I gonna get this type of power from the moon to here? Like, I have my machines here, my industrial contraption machines here, but do I need to move them to the moon? Like, and if I want to use this power, because it seems a little bit wonky, as I cannot place these in the overworld. I gotta go to the moon to use solar panels, but nonetheless, like I said, we do have these villagers we trade with Enderium coins and all those things. You have a better idea what they can give you. There's actually magical eggs, which you can get from villagers as well, trading with an alien shepherd. There we go. You can get these magical eggs for this mission right here, which you can get then later, actually use that magical egg to get a mob item egg, which is pretty cool. But we're also now on our way to go and get a tier 2 rocket, so we can go to Mars. Mars is going to unlock a bunch of different things, mainly carbon dioxide, which is pretty cool. You'll see, well, basically it's because of this, the carbonic acid. The carbonic acid, if you take a look at the usage, I guess it ain't really gonna show. Oh, there you go. If you take any ore, I believe it's any ore, pretty much any ore, I guess, yeah, into carbonic acid, we then have a chance, of course, that it consumes it, but it will give us diamond, for example, in this case, diamond clumps. Now, these diamond clumps can then be macerated into 2. So from 1 diamond ore, we get 4 clumps, and for each clump we get 8, which means we get 2, which means we get 8 diamonds out of a single diamond ore. Now that's pretty good. It works for all the fortune blocks, basically, the carbonic acid. So it's pretty good to get tons of emeralds, tons of quartz, tons of diamonds, fluorite as well, and niter. So it's pretty good on that front to get those. Now, ideally, we would try and reach this today. What is this? This is a way to get ancient debris from Venus coal ore, as you guys can see. But for that, we need to reach Venus. To reach Venus, we first need to go to Mars. And after getting to Mars, we need this silicon ingot in order to make the tier 3. Yep, there you go. As you can see, the tier 3, which also takes some stainless steel, which needs a fluid encapsulator. Like, it's gonna start like to really add up on top of each other, like the machines you need. But we got dash, we got our hands on our first amount of dash. Now there's a couple of things I really want to make. The first one of those being machine frames, because with these machine frames we can then make a bunch of other machines. For example, one of the better ones would be this, the induction smelter. Why? Take a look at this. We can get easily every single recipe from the alloy machine. We can also get several different other machines, and as a bonus, whenever we're smelting some of these things, we'll get rich slags as well, or just regular slags, of course. And what you want to do with these is then we can then turn it into phytogrows, and of course we need them to make the metallurgic infuser from mechanism, which is basically the startup machine at this point. And yeah, you can say the only way you're actually able to get rich slag is through an induction smelter. So you do need to have an induction smelter and then go and try and get some slags in order to progress into mechanism, which is something I really want to do. And now on to the moment of truth. Will it work? Yeah, it's gonna work. You see the animation, so this is gonna work, and we're gonna get our hands in the induction smelter. Dun, da, da, da. The induction smelter is ours, and we also unlocked this. Ooh, pretty good. Get some upgrades, and now hopefully we're gonna start getting into this. But of course, this, as I've seen and I've talked about it in either on the stream or the last episode, we need black iron. This is gonna be a little bit tricky to set up. I don't really know how I'm gonna do that, so I'm gonna skip that for the moment. We are now gonna just, well, do any of these recipes that we can in order to try and get our hands on some rich slag. I do have some of these resources there, so we can probably just get it pretty easily. Now, the induction smelter also allows us to start focusing on better storage. And with this recipe, with some red quartz, some iron in the induction smelter, we can get ourselves on quartz-enriched iron, which I already did. So we now have this quest done. I made some cables as well. We have this one done. And now we gotta make this, the processor cutter. This is what is actually gonna be cutting in, for example, this guy right here. And it only needs some power. Of course, the processor bindings, these guys are made on the sawmill, so that's an extra machine we also have to make. And then redstonium crystals and infused diamonium crystals. Now, as you can see, the more we get into it, the higher and higher it starts to, like, the more complicated it starts to be, like the more machines are needed to progress into the things. So I do want to try and optimize as much as I can wherever I can, which means I want to try and set up a couple of automations moving forward. For example, the induction smelter is just sitting here at the moment, nothing too special. But for example, one of the things that we are going to need the most is all of these recipes. Like, I need to do this crafting core. I need to get this automated, like, because as you can see, it's gonna use some power and it's gonna give it this. Now I do believe you still need these pedestals around it, which means a bunch of black iron. So we definitely need a lot of this black iron, and I got an idea on how I can make this happen. Haha, so my idea actually works. Now we do have the mob farm, right? So I thought, well, what if we, as you guys can see, just put some of the flooring blocks of the mob farm as iron blocks? Then maybe when the mobs spawn, they would actually spawn on these blocks. And lo and behold, we got already some black iron blocks. Now we do need quite a few of them. I invested most of my iron into this. Which means now I just need to kind of AFK for a little bit, and most of these ones should turn. Now I do have an actual line that I can't quite see, so I'll probably have to go inside of there at some point to try and check out if those ones have turned. But for now, yeah, seems to be working perfectly. And there we go, the next machines in line were the fluid encapsulator, which gives us another potato, and the magma crucible, which gives us some other items. And I also already anticipated and made some chromium. This is done by just tossing dash into a monopool with an alchemy catalyst, so it's not really that hard. So you guys can see, and gonna give us some chrome seeds. Now we need to go and make stainless steel. This is where we're going right now, so we can then progress into this steel casing right over here. Now the steel casing itself, or the stainless steel, sorry, needs to be made in the fluid encapsulator with some chromium and some blocks of steel, and the molten chromium you get in the magma crucible. That's why I got myself 2 ingots of chromium and 2 blocks of steel, so we can make this happen. And after making some signal on glass, we can now pick up some steel casings, and these steel casings give us a little bit more, some enriched carbon, and most important of all, it actually unlocks the next step, I believe. No, we're still missing. Oh yeah, we're still missing this part. Yeah, okay, so we gotta go into space again. We gotta go into Mars and go until we find silicon. Well, that is gonna have to be for the next episode. But we did quite a lot today. We did quite a lot of things, and we're getting ready for some big automations. So, as always, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, and see ya in the next one. Bye!